The Cile Road is a significant addition to Hoka's shoe lineup. You see, first I had this, the Bondi 8. Long, easy run. I love the cushioning in this, but I needed a bit of oomph, so I got this, the Mach X. I even got it in a different color. But for race day, you want something cushioned, propelled with a plate in it, so I got this, the Rocket X2. But what if you want something quite fast, close to the ground, without a plate in it? This is where the Cile Road comes in, and we're gonna talk about it in my review. Let's talk about it. Okay, my name is Aubrey. I'm a very average runner, simply trying to be less average by the day, as at the time of filming this, you've given me 7,782 subscribers. I'm gunning for 8,000 for Christmas, so please help me out, subscribe to the channel. If you're on Instagram, catch me on there. I love to connect with you. I talk all things running and running shoes. So, let's talk this bad boy. Before I start, this shoe was provided to me by the guys at Hoka. Even that alone is something to talk about. So I got serious about my YouTube channel this year, and to have brands supporting me, I want to say thank you to the guys at Hoka, but I want to assure you guys that won't taint or influence my opinion that I'm about to give you. I always start my reviews with the 3 things that you need to know, and we're going to start with price. £150 here in the UK versus $160. In terms of stack height, to some people, this is a downer. To me, I love it. 33 at the back, 30 at the front. I love it for that. And in terms of weight, I wear a 9.5 UK and it weighed in at 233 grams. This is probably the most important section of the entire review, how I tested the shoe. Started with a long run on Sunday. It was supposed to be 12K. I cut it down to 7. I'll explain why in a second. And then a tempo session, 6K on and off Ks. Loved it, and the shoe performed sublimely. And then a 5K session on the treadmill. By the way, I hate treadmills. I hate them with a passion. I'm never going on another treadmill again. All right, let's carry on. Okay, so let's review the shoe, starting from the top, working our way down. Let's start with the heel. Good hold. You see, this is a fast shoe. It's not intended for long or max cushion, easy run kind of shoe. Therefore, foot security becomes an increasingly important factor. The heel, they got it done. I was worried at first, I won't lie to you, because there isn't a lot of structure at this heel. And so you kind of go, ooh, is that really going to hold me? Once you do the laces, and you can see, I haven't done my runner's note. I had a very good hold in the shoe. I'm not going to fault it. The other thing, there is padding inside there that gives your foot a very strong hold from the inside. This shoe wasn't coming off, and that's a good sign. It's a very good hold. In terms of the tongue, -1 point here, Hoka. I would have loved to see the Cile Road with a gusseted tongue attached in the inside. I'm not saying that just for the sake of being fussy, but because this is a fast shoe for speed workouts, it's important to give you that foot security, and securing that tongue with attachments on the inside would have added to that. I get it. It adds a lot of weight to the shoe and you want to keep the weight down, but this being a fast shoe, it's an added advantage being gusseted. In terms of the performance of the tongue, it does have a lot of breathability. It offers that to the runner, and it offers you slots to put the laces through to give you that structure. I just feel it would have been better with it being gusseted. Right, let's move on. The upper. If I'm going to fault this shoe for one thing, it'll be the upper. What I'm about to say is normally a strength. It's normally a highlight in a shoe. I'm not going to blame Hoka for what I'm about to say, but it was a challenge for me. The breathability, when you look at this shoe, it is literally a net. I don't even want to call it a mesh. This is one of the most breathable shoes, and it challenges Vaporfly 3 in terms of the breathability. However, when you wake up and it's -2, -3 outside, that breathability quickly becomes your enemy. Last Sunday was a good run in this shoe, but I intended to run 12K. I came back after 7 because I couldn't feel my toes. That's how breathable this thing is. So, is this the best shoe to pick up during winter? Definitely not. Absolutely not. Now, You can argue to say, actually, Aubrey, you could have had thicker socks. But the thicker the socks get, they interfere with the fit of the shoe. And I would like to say the shoe fits perfectly. It's true to size. It's got a very roomy toe box. Once you start adding in thicker socks, you start messing around and interfering with the fit of the shoe. So if there is one thing I would fault about the shoe, it is just that. It's highly breathable. It's going to be one of the best shoes during summertime, springtime. But where the temperature gets to 0 and minuses, you're going to feel it. But it's a very lightweight upper. It's very well engineered, well thought out, and quite unique, to be honest. It does feel very minimalistic. That breathability, depending on winter, is an enemy. But when it gets to summer, this is probably the shoe I'm going to reach for the most for those interval sessions closer to the ground, fast, responsive kind of running. Let's talk midsole. Now, one of my favorite YouTubers, his name is Hella Good. He criticized this shoe because of how close to the ground it feels and other points that he raised, which I think are fair. He is Hoka affiliated, and I respected the fact that he had the honesty in him to criticize it despite that. But I actually like that. You see, I also wear ultra shoes, and some ultra shoes are 0 drop. Some of them are quite low down, and I like that. To give me a shoe that gives me closer contact to the ground, I think Hoka is on a winner here. An example I can give you, the Streak Fly. I love my Takumi Sen 8. This is playing within that field. But with a Piba foam, you've got me. You see, I came across the Piba foam in a Hoka shoe in the Rocket X2, and I just fell in love with it. That's what you're getting in here. Now, having 33 at the back, 30 at the front, quite responsive, Piba foam, and it feels luxurious. Don't get me wrong, it's not a max cushion shoe. It's not there to give you that sort of level of comfort. It's there to give you a close to the ground feel and be in control of everything you're doing. I genuinely love it. Okay, so let's talk outsole. I love it. There isn't really anything to talk about, if I'm honest with you. I don't have anything to criticize or anything to point out. They've covered all key places that you're going to need in terms of the resilience of that midsole, protecting the midsole, but they've also given you excellent grip. It's in line with the other Hoka shoes. What would I say to Hoka as an improvement for version 2 of this shoe? I think I would give it a higher drop. 3 mil for some people is not what they want. Now, I know there are other shoes in Hoka's range that might address that, but I have to say, I love this shoe for what it is. But why not take it to somewhere like a 37 mil and a 29 at the front? Give us a higher drop, but don't compromise the comfort at the front, because that feels perfect and sublime. I love this shoe as it is, but to grasp more people's attention, I would actually give this a higher drop. What is this shoe for, and should you buy it? This shoe is if you're trying to test yourself for pace. 5K, you're gonna love this shoe. 10K, you're gonna love this shoe. For me personally, I'm gonna keep it to that 5K distance because it executes very well. Thank you very much for taking time to check this out. It truly is appreciated. I'm doing a video series where I'm sharing running advice. Every single day we're releasing a video leading up to Christmas. You can see day 1 over here and day 2 over there. Thank you, and consider subscribing to the channel. It would mean a lot. Thank you.